I have a question regarding the cosmic energy that ascends and descends from the spine. And from the spine.
Ascends from the...
Ascends and descends.
Descends.
From the spine and transforms the nature, and also about the various ways in which energy moves. Many yogis talk about an ascending energy, while Sri Aurobindo, with his integral yoga, and some others as well, have emphasized this descending energy. You mentioned meeting Nainar Swami at Maruttamalai, and that he explained to you about the Shivaraya.
About?
The Shivaraya yoga.
Shivaraya yoga, yeah.
Yes, and that the practice is from up to bottom, and that the other way can be dangerous. I would like to hear more in depth about all this, since I've been experiencing different types of energies, heating and cooling, so I can affect the sadhana. That's why I'm asking.
Now, if you have learned Kriya, if you have learned Kriya Yoga, see, what do we do in Kriya Yoga? Do we only ascend or do we also descend?
Both.
This is what Aurobindo is talking about. You can't go on ascending, but you need to also descend. When there is an ascension, in the middle of the ascension there is a descent.
Yes.
You see, this is very important to note. So, when the time is right, for instance, this is human. See, this is one principle: as above, so below. As the universal structures are, they are all built into the human being in a small way. So in us there is a consciousness waiting to incarnate. Okay, it is waiting, and for that you need both to go up and to come down. When you go up and when you become a fit vehicle, fit vessel, then that which comes down is ready to come. Otherwise it cannot come. So when the body and the mind is purified, which is what we do by taking up, and then when you are taking down, you are clearing the vessels of all the karmas, of all the impurities, so that you are ready to receive the light. I don't want to use a particular word, because then people might think I am some Christian preacher or something like. I am not. But when the mind is purified, when the ascension is complete, then the descension of the Christos takes place. You know what that means? Christos, the Chris is the root of Krishna also, Chris. That means consciousness, pure consciousness. It's ready to manifest itself, but you need to move up and down for this. Which is why in Kriya, just as it happens in the universe, it happens in the body. Human body is a small universe. Sun, moon, everything is there in this. All the elements are there, the tattvas are there. If you see a yogi doing something strange and you cannot understand how this is happening, is because he has control of a certain principle, tattva, inside his body, which is connected to the tattva in the outside world. What? If he manipulates this, he can manipulate that. You see, there is a link. Which is why it is very dangerous to teach everybody this. When people say, I don't believe, I am very happy.
Sure.
If you believe, it will be a dangerous world.
Sure.
Without moral understanding. For instance, if I believe that I can influence you, and if I have no scruples, I can influence you and get all your bank balance into my bank.
You won't get very
I don't. Except. So, one has to be very careful with these matters. We are discussing things which are stronger than a 100 megaton hydrogen bomb. So it's not a joke. You can't bring a child and make it sit inside a room full of dynamite and then give a matchbox and say, hey, this is how you light it. You see, so this is why some teachers say we shouldn't discuss, it is secret. There is no other reason. So the energies go up and they also go down. The energies that goes up are the energies that ascend to higher levels of understanding. Energies that descend is when you are ready, the higher energies come into your system, where also the Sushumna Nadi is important, the central channel. So when people say follow the middle path, it actually means the Sushumna, not some middle path somewhere, it means the Sushumna. That's why in some scriptures, walking on the straight and narrow path. Straight and narrow path is your spine. Walk on that. And then you will see that you will begin to understand the questions that you are asking me yourself. Your whole body then will be filled with light. Somebody said this, no?
Nice. We're getting there.
Somebody said this, right? If thine eye be single, the whole body shall be full of light. Does it mean that one is blind in one eye? So that single eye is the basis for development. Now we come to the second part of your question, that some Shivraj yogis said that it's better to go from up down than from down up. That doesn't mean that it is meant for all. Generally you go from down up, but from up down is also important. This is what he meant. Nityananda of Vajreshwari gave an example. He said it is okay, if you are careful and if you have a proper guide, you can go from down below up, no harm. He said for safer journey, we stay up and try to, he gave the example of a well. You know those open wells we have where you get water? They're slippery steps. So if you want to get water, if you go down the slippery steps, you might slip and fall down. Might, unless you are an expert. Instead, what do? You put a pulley in the bucket, the rope, and put the rope down, take the water and pull it up. You see this? So this is the center where pulling up takes place. I'm using figurative language.
The Raja Yogas, we work on this. We pick out the centers of how the...
Yeah, also according to certain teachings, apart from the known Shat Chakra Nirupana of Purnananda Swami, there are also Shat Chakras inside here, which start from here and go round. So this is why we do the Brahmari, to clear it. Okay, so have you seen in the Gnostic philosophy, you would have seen usually that Jesus is represented as hanging on the cross, like hands are up, hanging. And on the top they write JNRJ, Jesus Nazares Rex Judarum, which means Jesus King of Jews, to make fun of him. Romans wanted to make fun of, here is the King of Jesus hanging there, of the Jews. But it also has a great mystical significance, because in Latin, J and I are interchangeable. Put a one stroke, it can be I or it can be J. So we read it as I, not as J. So it becomes INRI, INRI, not JNRJ. Now INRI is a perfect example of what you discussed just now. The integration of the spirit and matter. Right.
It's kind of alchemy also.
Yeah, so from the point of view of the Gnostics, INRI is igne natura renovat integra, which means Agni, Igne is Agni, which is a symbol of, in Sanskrit is Agni, in Latin is Igne. It is a symbol of spirit, of the soul, of the spirit is Igni. Natura is the earth, physical body. Renovat means this earth renewed by fire through integration. This is what we want to produce in every human being, that the fire of the spirit renews the body, the physical matter, and then it becomes intangible soul. See? So then the human becomes divine.
Just the follow-up of what you were just explaining, so it's matching beautifully transition. You have been witness of extraordinary experiences with your master. For example, with Maheshwaranath Babaji, who lived very long time through the practice of kayakalpa, and he could extend his physical existence. And even further, Sri Guru Babaji, who seems to have developed a sort of a light body that the South Indian scriptures are talking about. These different degrees of the perfection that you just mentioned, of the renovation of the body, seems to be linked to the gradual transformation of the body through the mastery of some of these tattva cells light. In the light of your meeting with these great ones, we even heard in the memory of Kunju Swami, for the anecdote in Tiruvannamalai, that Ramana himself was trying to get to that Pranavadeha, but he renounced to that in order to be able to fulfill his mission. So could you tell us a little bit more about those extraordinary stages that lies beyond the self-realization and are connected with this kind of alchemical transmutation of the body, like Ramalinga also we were discussing when you came to Paris.
Should we get into this?
So what do you feel that can be shared at this stage, here? Because we know you know much more than what you can share and things. What is permitted to know?
These are matters which generally we don't. It is true that when the energies have passed through the Shushumna and gone through the Brahmarandra and touched the Sahasrara, not only does a spiritual change take place, but every cell of the human body is affected by it. It's not the same. There is a choice if you want to rejuvenate it or leave it. It's up to you to choose. Right? So, what happens is in metabolism, the destructive phase ends to some extent and the constructive continues, the anabolism continues. It is linked to your breath also. If you know how to breathe properly, these things can be done in some way. It's not such an important thing for us because anyhow at any stage the body will go at some point. Even Sri Guru Babaji, when this Manvantara ends, he will go. Manvantara is long, of course. Maheshwaranath Babaji was not interested in it, so he gave up. Said, okay, fine, you do the job. So, yeah. So now, I will do as long as I can, with good health, handle this. Kayakalpa needs a lot of attention. You need to stay in complete darkness and all that. And there are processes. It's not that there aren't, but they're not commercial or so easily done processes, and they're not required. As long as your body stays with full energy and your cells are working at optimum levels, that's all we need to look at. And it happens when you do Kriya. When you do Kriya Yoga, you charge all your cells with energy, you see. So it happens. So you don't have to go much. There are chemicals also, but these are all little bit difficult, dangerous. Yeah. It's better not to get into the metals. So we generally stay away from as much as possible. We know there are some things like that. Huh?
I I didn't know you knew all this, even the metal side.
Yes, there are metal,
You know the plant.
not metal oxides,
Yeah.
some amalgams of metals, pure metals. These are used to keep the body in. Now look, for me, I am now 73 years old. Okay? Now, apart from grey hair, that's because I don't know the art of dying, art of living, art of dying. So,
Good one.
so my hair, I did dye, so it is white. This also can be turned black, I'm telling you. But my cells do not have the usual destructive element which is in a person's body who is 73 years old. Which will be
Energy.
you can see about 37, 40 years old, that kind of cell energy is there. I can increase it if I want. Right now this is enough for me to work. Okay. Now having said all this, is there a practice? I would say that simple, regular anulom vilom, alternate breathing, to a great extent contributes to this. The idea is not to increase the breathing rhythm, but to slow it down. The slower the breathing rhythm is, the longer and healthier is one's life. Compared to us, elephant breathes very few times. The whale, the whale is a mammal, it's not a fish. So it has no gills. So it breathes outside air. And how many days does it breathe? 7 days, a week, 10 days, it takes one breath. You can see, how do you know when the whale is coming in the sea? The spout of water goes out. This is exhalation. It's doing its puraka or rachaka, whatever. It's taking it out, rachak. So then it will take one breath and go down. And then for 10 days, no breathing, it lives 150 years. The whale. The mosquito breathes in 1 minute 100 times. So it dies very fast. We have our own rate of breathing. If we can even slow it down, the regeneration of your cells and your longevity increases. Even if you bring it down a bit. And the best way to bring it down is to be aware of your breath as it goes in and comes out. Then there are kayakalpa practices which have to be followed diligently and carefully. There is one herb which is used by yogis for rejuvenation, for kayakalpa. You can take only 0.5 grams. Eat a little more and your whole body will burst out into rashes and boils. Now it's about 15 years since I did one kayakalpa for 15 days.
Oh, nice.
And I overdid it. So this is the result. You see? Otherwise I had nothing in pants. But otherwise it was okay. So whenever I feel weak and I need more energy to work, I will go ahead and do something.
I would like to light kayakalpa. Light kayakalpa.
You have to sit in a dark room for 15 days. They have realized long ago that these rays of the sun cause damage to the body. And in the West, everybody is lying in the beach without...
Because they don't know how to harness them. But you know, but the common people do.
So, yeah, the sunlight also can be harnessed if you know how to harness it. You can harness it also physically. This also we will do in the Yogic Research Center with a magnifying glass.
See, the science needs you.
So, we need to work on this. First, we have to convince the scientists that this is not just abracadabra. There are many good things, and these people have to be convinced that please allow the scientists to check out. They won't allow. They will say, no, we are not interested. Then we can't move forward.
Now they're coming. Now is the time.
So do you want to learn kayakalpa?
Yes, we want.
We even went to Tapasviji Maharaj, to try, one of his disciples actually.
Oh, who?
He came, I don't even know the name, he was an old Swami with a white beard. He came to try to give the kayakalpa to the aging and dying Shiva Balayogi Maharaj in Bangalore.
Yeah. I wish I knew French. Can you teach me some French?
Sure. Come to Paris. We'll be so happy.
How long will I stay in Paris?
You have to stay 10 years with So, as long as you wish, sir.
No, that's not enough to learn French.
So, scientific research, more and more now, in the West, but probably also in India, they have protocol to study the question of death and dying. So what happened into near-death experience, etc. So this is also a field that is opening.
True.
But they are lacking also
information.
Exactly. So they are advancing in the dark, open-mind scientists, but they don't really know what they are searching. So you told yourself of your experience in Kedarnath, with when you went to that place, that cave, and you got the kind of apparatus, that machine, to help you to get your consciousness out of your body.
I don't have the machine now, but yeah, okay.
See? And so, in the light of this experience and our discussion of today, talking about the light body and all this, how can we make a bridge, maybe in the future, a field of research, between the traditional experience of the yogis and consciousness and light in this? So machines could maybe help, or being, devised or something.
Not exactly machines, but in the modern world, there's no harm in using some devices to help. I understand this. I think with time we look into this. Can't put everything in closed cabins and leave it there. We need to know. It's time for humanity. So it should start, first step, apart from spiritual progress, to learn the capacity to exit the body, exit the physical body. And it is not as difficult as people think. It is not. So we should start, and there are some ways and means by which it can be accelerated using some devices. I just don't want to introduce this in India right now, because then, in India everybody sets up shop. The moment it's done, then there will be commercially, come here, I will take you out. You know how it is. You know how many people do massage in India? People who are carpenters are also become experts now in massage. So there are ways and means to gently learn to leave the body. Couple of things are essential for that. One is that you need a quiet place where nobody will disturb you, and you need to eat a little bit of special food and a place to lie down, because sitting down exit is not so easy for most people. Lying down is best. And there are some devices which I don't want to discuss now, but if you're serious, we can work on it.
Sure.
Very simple things which can be fixed on the roof, so that you know how to do this. It's not such a big deal. Every night everybody goes out and comes back, But it's so muddled up with our subconscious that we see only dreams. And it's not a crime to do that. It's not a crime to leave your body. I mean, it's your body that it's leaving it's actually, this is like a car. You are sitting inside the car. So you're opening the door and coming out. I mean, that's it. Fairly simple. There are some mantra sounds, and how to lie down and what to do, and a particular breathing process. If you master that and have some device, Basically, you use a mirror.
Oh, yeah, also, yes.
So with that we can, maybe you want to try, you set one up in Paris somewhere.
Yes. Yes, please, yes, yes, we do that.
No.
Give us a direction.
But then you will come here and see me every day or do.
Sometimes you come to see us.
This I do.
What you said about the night, just to a little
Night.
on that, in the night that everybody, some spiritual aspirants, sometimes in the night they get some kind of instruction. But sometimes it's clear, sometimes it looks like it's filtered by your psyche also, what we see.
It's a muddled up thing.
Yeah,
So
we don't bring back in the
that-
day consciousness the full message.
for that you need to practice a particular pranayam regularly so that it is clear. Also, as soon as you wake up in the morning, note down everything. Because after 10 minutes it will go. Or it will get muddled up. Simplest thing is, when you go to sleep, think of your favorite person and favorite place and say, I wish I am there, I wish I am there, I wish I am, fall asleep. This is one simple, there are other ways, of course. And after a few trials, you will be there. That person won't see you, you will see that person. You see, one problem with this, if you are traveling in your subtle body, you can see everything. You can hear everything. You can smell. But you cannot taste or you cannot hold anything. If I come to your house and I see a beautiful flower vase there and I want to take it, I cannot. I can see it, I can appreciate it. Because if I put my hand, it will go through the flower vase. Right? So this is the only problem. But you can read letters from behind.
That's how we got at the time of Blavatsky and they were.
Now you see this latest, everybody is shooting down something from the sky.
Yes.
It is a Chinese balloon, it is this, it is that.
We're getting there. But we want to get political, so we try to frame it into something more large so nobody gets in trouble.
Very soon this will disappear. This will happen that more will come. What will they do?
Yes.
They are worried about us actually, honestly. We are behaving like monkeys, worse than monkeys. They're really worried about us. They're worried that we might explode a nuclear weapon and wipe out humanity. Before that, they want us to be saved.
After Mahashivaratri in Ujjain this year, you gave the satsang and the talk. You talk specifically about the Jyothir lingams, 12 Jyothir lingams, or light lingams that were placed in different parts of India.
You saw internet.
Yeah,
Yes,
that is why. But one of us was there physically.
Yes,
And
not
so,
one of
like
us,
that.
two.
Two actually, correct. So we understand the symbolic dimension of the Jyothir lingam at this stage, but you gave few hints that go beyond the simple symbolic of these artifacts.
True.
Could you explain what is maybe a little more, elaborate on that? What is the goal of their presence of these lingams and this self-generating, as you mentioned, lingams there? Because in the same satsang, you said that they were placed there by non-terrestrial maybe beings. We are getting
I
there.
stand by that, I don't deny it.
And so, because of just what we discussed about the balloon before, no? And you have been talking about that with parsimony, but it seems that there is, just like the balloon, you're talking more and more often about that, so that you're preparing maybe the field for something.
Yeah, because if you talk early before that, nobody...
Right, so we don't want to push it, but if...
Yeah, it's like this. In India there are 12 Jyotirlingas. There could be in other places. I do not know. I know, but I don't want to mention. In India there are 12 Jyotirlingas, starting from Kedar in the north to Rameshwaram in the south. Now the Jyoti, the word Jyoti means something which is made from light, solidified from light. This entire stretch of light energy which came from a being, from not of this world but different world. There is a physical Kailash and there is the non-physical Kailash, which came where they fell and solidified, not fell, where they entered is the Jyotirlinga. So it's actually solidified light.
It's like Arunachala in the liquid Baba.
Yes, exactly. So there is still the light's energy lingering there. After many years, it has become less because people were not looking after it in the right way. How to look after it has mostly been lost. Priests know the puja, but they don't know the. But it's still there. Now, all the Jyotirlingas also happen to be Swayambhus. Now, when you say Swayambhu, people think something grows out of the earth. Swayambhu simply means that which produces its own energy. It also means it is not created by human hands. So then who created it if it's not created by human? Someone beyond human beings created this. And fixed it in certain places to absorb the light and radiate it outside. And it is also electromagnetic. The ancient linga in Somnath did not sit on the earth, it was suspended in the air because it had an opposite charge to the charge of gravity. This is how they still move in their vessels, which is why we can't find fuel. So this is what I said, that Jyotirlingas are places where the higher beings have left something for us to in future connect to them.
In future, there is some plan.
Yes.
It gives us hope also in these difficult circumstances on the planet. We know that there is this kind of plan and that things are unfolding. Maybe crisis is unfolding, but at the same time this kind of revelation is coming.
It's necessary. They can see everything.
You see that at least some of us, thanks to your explanation, we might start to have that vision that makes sense.
No. Go to all the Jyotirlinga places. Forget about all the rituals and all that. Sit down and enjoy, meditate. Understand, with this understanding of what I told you, if you sit down and meditate, you will see the energy coming. So here again, now we discussed the human body, right? Now this is not human body but the earth. There is an ascent and there is a descent. So in many ways, Aurobindo was right.
Since there is a beautiful picture of Shirdi Baba just in front of you.
Where?
Right.
Oh, here.
And there is also a famous Sai Naga temple in Coimbatore. It was one of the first temples of Baba. And after the snake came above the lingam when they did the inauguration of the temple. It's a special place and it's just a way to start to shoot some question about your connection with Shirdi Sai and Sufism maybe, and how, because you said that you had that special connection, maybe one book would come. Seems for us Westerner coming to India that is one of the major saints in India nowadays, from Bengal to Tamil Nadu, and he is in every house almost. Maybe more famous now even than Ramakrishna. So since the special connection you had and our affection for Baba, in this line of Sufism, that's the last question also that we want to ask you.
Shirdi Sai Baba, actually nobody knows who he is. Nobody knows who he is. They only know that a fakir appeared in Shirdi, lived for some years and passed away and did strange things. That's all people know. We don't know exactly. There's this controversy, was he a Muslim, was he a Hindu, was he a Brahmin? Nobody has answered this question. Why? Because in that form, in that body, somebody else was working. The body was there, of course, But that form, inside that form there was an energy which is not of this earth. So nobody can understand it. So when the work was over, it dropped the body. That's all. So it's a being rather than a person. Well, people like to see it as a person, which is okay. I mean, otherwise, how do you identify with a person like that? And even though he had not studied anything traditionally, like I studied a lot of Upanishad, he did not. But he knew everything about it. Why? Because the being who was in that body knew everything. I don't know whether anybody has looked at it from this angle. That what you call Shirdi Sai Baba is a symbol. It's a symbol, a symbolic manifestation of some infinite energy body inside.
That's why these miracles could happen when you
And he also said that all these things I do for people who ask for help, so that tomorrow, finally they will ask me what I really want to give them.
Yes, like that. I give them what they want, so that they want what I'm here to give.
Yeah. So, and it was necessary to have a being like that at that point.
Maybe there is more to the who have this kind of connection with the artists, like your experience,
Yeah, we need to work on this. No.
Yeah, later maybe.
No, we who work on this earth, we need to work in disguise. We cannot take out the disguise. It's not time ripe for that. You know what is a disguise,
Yes.
right? We are disguised.
Yes, we understand.
So that was also a disguise. At that point. You cannot imitate it.
Of course. It feels good to know that in this earth, that in this current crisis of civilization, and there is at the same time an advancement of this revelation through people like you, and that we can bring it to the modern world and common world.
No. Many of the people who are here in this generation have in the past some links with that which is beyond. This is the time, ripe time, when we need to just poke a little and say, hey, wake up, this is what you are. Because lots of work is required in future. After a certain point, people who are born on this earth, many of them have a link with that which is beyond. Why? Because some work has to be done. You never know. Now you might think, no, I don't have any link. What is this? Then after few months or few days, you'll suddenly realize, oh, you haven't changed your frame. It's still the same. Nice.